All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And I with the new intro stuff. You got Aaron and you got Seth there right at the end.
Yeah.
Two of the bigger guys that I've had on the show.
Heavy hitters.
Now, see, Seth put out this tweet recently, where it's like he'll say something when he's just trying to get out of a conversation, and people just keep talking. And it says, "Oh, that's crazy," and I'm pretty sure he's said that to me before. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys. Look, if you go, hey, listen, Neil, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, and I'll be like, sweet, yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny when he put that. Now, when I see that clip, I'm like, he just said that, didn't he? He just in that clip, he just said that.
He's like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at the time. Not even wearing a watch. Look at the time. I gotta get out of here.
Anyway,
yeah.
The new Apple Watch, you can't see it.
That's right. The Invisible Watch belongs to Wonder Woman. Anyways, today on the show, I've got this guy right here, Mr. George Stiles, who's very fond of the, as I mentioned in the description box, of the Socratic method. I was actually on an episode. I forgot to link it too in the fucking. See, I'm just not in it.
Sorry, man. I'm here for you, man. What you need?
Fuck it is. It's on his show just recently. We were talking about deconversions. So it was quite apropos that he had me on the show, and that rhymed, and I should be a poet. Holy fuck. Anyway, welcome to the show, George.
Thank you, Neil.
Welcome.
And Mikey. Thank you.
What do you need to add? I can grab it real quick.
Well, the link, to add it into the description box over on the YouTuber side there, just in where it talks about I was on the show, just drop it in there somewhere. It said link here.
So George's show?
Yeah, the one that I was on with Infidel and Atheist. What was his name? Atheist God or something like that? Or?
Atheist bad. Atheist bad.
Atheist bad. That's what it was.
Atheist underscore bad.
That's what it was. That's right. He's bad atheist. He's actually going to be on the show on Thursday. So
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So George, what I do here is I talk to folks about how they found their way out of whatever ridiculous belief systems they were once a part of. And of course, we don't really realize that it's really ridiculous when we're in it, but little things start to creep in, and little things start to make you go, wait a fucking second. How's the guy live in a fish for 3 days? What the fuck? So, kind of take us on that journey and tell us how you eventually found the ladder instead of or the chute instead of the ladder, and you were able to get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Neil, I wanted to say to you what the problem was. It doesn't work. The shit doesn't work. You know what I mean? And I gave it a lot of chances. I gave it everything that you could give it, right? I give it a fair chance, and it just did not work. And it stopped working before I got out of elementary school. This is how obvious it is, right? Yeah. Before I was about 12 when it started to really sink in that, what is this shit? You know what I mean? I don't know how this, And another problem was yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just, you see people in it. And I had a bunch of friends who were at a secular school, at the public school. I went to a Catholic school. And the Catholic school was cliquey. It was, they're, kind of resentful. And, I didn't find the most friendly people. Not everyone was bad, but you know what I mean? It was a little odd. But then when I went to hang out with the other kids at the other school, it's like these kids would include everyone. They would hang out after school. They'd have every kid in their class and the other classes. And, it was really nice vibe. And I said, wait a minute, isn't that supposed to be us? You know what I mean? That should be my school. Jesus and love and peace and
not being judgmental.
Yeah, right. So this was the big problem. And you can see this clearly, and that's what really set me off was wondering, why is it this way? Why are they like this? And a little bit later in life, we had the internet, and I'm sure everybody remembers the beginning of the internet and how it might have.
I do.
Yeah, and I used to play in a rock band. So after
I still
night,
do.
Hold on, pause for edit. What did you do in said rock band?
I play lead guitar.
Oh, we got ourselves a shredder. What was your rig? Like, what kind of axe you have? What kind of cabinet situation we talking about?
Yeah, the last thing was basically I have a Les Paul Studio. It's green.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I had a Marshall half stack, and that was my last gig, like kind of gig rig, if you will, that I had. And before that, I had a Blues DeVille and like a tube screamer, an Ibanez tube screamer, and a Fender Strat. That's what I used to do.
Who's your baby? What's your baby guitar? All the rest of them, they might be great, but they're still this one.
So I had to actually sell all of my guitars. I had about 12 of them, and I kept one, which is the Les Paul. Yeah, I had no money at the time. Had no family at the time. I was living away from the town I grew up in, and I just literally had to keep going to school. And it's in a city that was fairly expensive. Ottawa, you guys know Ottawa, I'm sure. Ontario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was expensive, and I mean, I'm just there winging it, right? Like I have at this point, both my parents are long dead, and I was sitting there trying to just hustle and get through school. And I remember having to hawk off, but the frets were worn on all of them, so I didn't feel too bad because I was looking at a couple $100 to get refretted properly. So it made me feel a little bit better. But the Les Paul I keep though. And that was my last guitar I bought, and I'm keeping the Les Paul. I just like the sound of it better. You know what I mean? I like a Strat. Don't get me wrong.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it was just and I didn't like the standards so much, which is way more expensive. And I tried it, and I didn't like it so much. I liked the Studio. It just had this nice crunch to it. I don't know. It just so I stuck with that one.
You're a better man. Oh, go ahead, Neil.
I was going to say the music you hear in these shows is all done on a Les Paul Studio.
Nice. Okay, that's why I liked it.
and you're a real man. I have to play a telly. The neck on a a Gibson neck is literally half of a Louisville Slugger, and they just put frets on one side. Like it's this damn thing. Yeah.
I'm holding a tree trunk. What's going on here?
They literally took the branch off the tree and just put strings on it and then put some pickups.
The bark off.
Yeah.
And turn the bark into string.
You gotta pay extra to get them to get the bark off.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I used to have to do was I used to put 13s on my guitar, really heavy strings. Yeah. Well, just to because we had all of these dicks that would come up. And they would try to come up, hey man, just let me sit in for a song. They try to outplay you. Yeah. And I thought, fuck you. I'm going to show all you motherfuckers what the fuck's up. And they get up there and they'd just be like, because they couldn't bend it, right? They, you know what I mean? Their bending is completely dead at that point. And they're just so heavy. Yeah, they just left me alone after a while. So I did that, but then I didn't like the sound of the heavy strings, right? Because it just, I don't know, it wasn't my thing. And I like the bends on the 10s or 9s are better, I find. But yeah,
I think I play heavy. I think I might have 11s, but they're supposed to be. I play drop C, so I'll just buzz like crazy if I don't have big strings.
Yeah.
No, anywho,
but yeah, this is sorry, I don't know how you guys got me talking about guitars. It's like
you said music, and both of us are like.
I love doing music, but unfortunately, I don't know. It didn't really pan out for me. That's another story for another day. But the thing was, I would come home from these gigs at the bar, and I would, I was still wound up, and I would go on the internet. And this is when I think Windows 95 had just come out, and like way back. And the biggest thing was I go on and look around, see what I could find. And I started, after a while, I wanted to look for really interesting things, like some information that really matters, And I ran across the logical fallacies. And this was a shattering moment for me, because when I started reading these things, I'm like, this is how everyone has bullshitted me my entire fucking life. You know what I mean? Like in there was like every grift someone has said and left a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm kind of like, how you figuring that out, man? Well, it just is, and that's how they did it. And then, I started reading more about this stuff and skeptics. And then I got into there's a book called The Skeptic's Dictionary by Robert T. Carroll. I think that's his name. And I got that book. And it was about all the things, like crystals and dowsing and homeopathy and all
There's
this
quite a few
stuff.
books on that sort of stuff, though, too.
Yeah, and that was the one I found at the time, and it got me into it. And so for a while, I didn't really have much exposure because when I left religion, and left it, it was kind of floating off and didn't really matter. But I would always see, these people on TV, and I always seen Jimmy Swaggart, Jim Baker, and then Peter Popoff, and I think, who the fuck is this jackass? And he's on there. I've got my miracle water, and I'm listening to this at 3 a.m, and I'm thinking, shit, this guy is fucking something else. And I thought, how do people believe this? This has got to be a joke, right? People can't believe this shit.
There's no way.
Right?
Is that usually right after the Ron Dupree infomercial? Trying to say how to do
commercial real estate
ads in the paper. Ads in the paper and stuff like that. I mean,
1-900
numbers. You remember those?
Yeah. I remember Miss Cleo. She would tell you your fortune, have everyone call in.
Me now.
Call me now.
I find Jamaican.
But I mean, she was more entertaining than Popoff. Popoff was a friggin' jerk. He's on there, talking some really big shit, and I couldn't believe it. And this
Randy busted him. James Randi busted his ass.
Yeah, right. And this is what, and this is amazes me, is that he's been busted right on, 60 Minutes or whatever Randy showed it on. He showed the whole breakdown about how they were put the clip in the ear and everything. And people still go to this guy. And this is like, what is wrong with you? Why do you do this?
Clearly, I didn't see that episode.
Yeah, they skipped that
one. Clearly not.
There was no DVR back then. So if you didn't see it live, you just didn't see it. So they just accidentally missed that one.
I used to videotape programs.
Program the VCR.
Yeah, absolutely.
Program the VCR. I have every episode of Tiny Toons on VHS.
That's all right. That was the thing, though, is that
sorry.
No, I wish I had a recorded Popoff back then, just so I could see how ridiculous it was. Because I remember I would watch it, and if I had buddies over, we'd be sitting there. Okay, good. I got to get it. But the thing was, it was ludicrous. And this amazed me. And at this time, I'm reading all this stuff. I'm getting into these fallacies. I'm starting to learn how people have been bullshitting the shit out of me my whole life up until that point. And that's what really got me. And I think this all kind of hit. And I said, okay. And I started thinking more. And then I put this aside and I started thinking a lot at night. And I thought, what is the best thing for us to do as humans? What is the best thing? And not something cheap and not something mean and not something nasty. What could I do that I die and leave this a better place? And I thought about it. And I said, what about religion? Let's just put those, clowns aside, even them. Is it true? Does it work? And I used to think about it. I used to think well, then why do we got AIDS? Why do we got cured cancer? Why haven't they cured AIDS? Why haven't they cured cancer? Why are these problems when supposedly we have this deity who knows everything, who, is blah, blah, blah. You guys
powerful, all knowing, all present.
Right. So why do you have these problems? Because these are huge problems. And I had known some. Yeah, and I had seen someone who had died from cancer around that time, and it's very bad. And I thought, if there's a benevolent deity, this not so benevolent. You wouldn't let someone go like that. That's really awful to have to go through. And it's horrible.
I go through it too. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry about that. That's terrible. And and I just thought, what is the best thing I can do? Is it playing in a rock band for a bunch of drunks who are all, hooting and hollering at the end of the night? Or should I go to university? And I picked university eventually for a lot of different reasons. It's a long story, but I ended up doing biochemistry. And I never thought I was like that. I was kind of like this, dummy of a kid, kind of, partying and rock band. And, I wasn't taking life so much, I guess. I mean, I take the music seriously and always wanted to do well on stage and stuff like that. But, it's like, what can I do that's going to make an impact on people and humanity? How am I going to leave it a better place? Because I think that was the best answer I could come up with for how I should spend life. That was just, I guess, what I got out of it at the time. And, you know, I remember, you know, doing all this, and, you know, I eliminated the whole possibility. Just religion doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work. And not an omnipotent, benevolent deity, it doesn't work. And people think I'm trying to insult them when I'm saying this. And I'm not insulting. I don't mean to be an asshole. It's just, it doesn't work, you know. And my parents died, my friends died. I had lots of friends that died. And we always made a promise, you know, we say, listen, man, if you're on the other side, come back and tell me. You know, just even if I piss myself, you know what I mean?
Done that too.
Place, done that too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And no, and
never
you know,
happened.
You know, and these are guys that would crawl out of the fucking grave to tell me. You know, they'd be like getting the hand out and pulling themselves up out of the dirt if they could. And it never happened. And nothing happened. And, you know, my mom died. I didn't even have a dream. I still have not dreamt about my mom. It's almost been 20 years since she's been dead. I have not dreamt about her. I have not been visited. I have none of these things. And of course, as you guys probably know, people will make excuses and say, well, you're not in touch. You're not in with the aura. You know, you're not in with the vibe. It's like, what the fuck is deficient about me then? Why am I so fucking deficient all the time? Why are you guys so complete and I'm such a fuck up? You know, at some point, I don't take it insulting. It's just that it starts to sound like a bunch of shit, you know, and that was the big story. Yeah. So I don't know. That was basically where I was left. And, you know, now I'm looking at it and it's a strange thing because I thought everyone was going to be like me. You know, they would get on the internet and they would see, oh yeah, this all doesn't work. Right. And then wrong, wrong.
Some people have doubled down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy. And now, you know, we have women having their rights to their body being taken away by government. Like it's a legit thing. And it's so insane. And it's like, for what, you know? And Neil and Mikey, I'm sure you both even asked people, you know, at some point, well, what's your proof? You know, even if you know, just to give them the benefit of doubt, and you never get anything, you know, it's just an empty.
I never ask for proof because proof is something like science doesn't even set out to prove things. It just sets out to show everyone the current examples of evidence that we have to support whatever theories or hypotheses are out there. So I don't say, oh, you got to prove it. I said, well, show me how you will. Show me, convince me with what you're going to show me so that I'm as convinced as you with what you believe to be true. Right?
Yeah. So, no, that's
demonstrated.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you got the same answer I got, which is nothing. You know,
I don't argue with Christians because I'm like, wait, you still have property? You didn't sell it all? Oh, okay, then you're not serious. Let me know when you have literally nothing, and you just walk around with a robe on. So I'm come hear the good word. I'm like, hey, where's your stuff? You're like, I don't have any stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm listening. Me and you, now we can debate. But if you're a Christian with stuff, nah, I won't debate you.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because I always call it, I say, you know, you're not having a discussion at that point. You're having a charade. It's like going to the circus. It's like, look at me yell. No, look at me yell. You know, oh, I can yell louder and more nonsense than you can. And it's stupid. You know what I mean? At some point, there's no communication effectively going on there. And it's like, well, that's the problem we have. So at some point, we can't talk about it. And that's what I even came to as I started to think, wait a minute, what is all this? And they call it, I think it's atheism or theological non-cognitivism, where the word God is, like it means nothing or something, you know. Right. And I would say I'm even beyond that. I would say I'm to the point where I don't understand why people need this. And that was, I think, the biggest thing I always pulled out of life was, why do I need this? I'm perfectly fine on my own. If I mess something up, that's me. That's on me, right? And if it isn't, it's on whatever it was on. Each case is another case. We can't just slap, you know, a sticker on everything that says God did it, right? I don't need a coping mechanism. I can take how shitty life is and I can embrace that. You know, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why other people can't. You know, and I don't think that they need to be that way. I think that they could see it the same way I see it. I mean, if I can see it, why can't others? And I mean, I think both of you do. And you guys have no problem. And Neil and Mikey, we all know somebody that, thinks the same way too. And so I don't know. It's an odd thing. Why do we need it? I didn't really see a point. So here I am pushing in science, and then I get into these arguments with people and I say, listen, man, why don't you stop putting all your energy into that and learn quantum mechanics? There's a textbook over here. But if we had more people learning quantum mechanics,
There you go. God, buddy.
That's the thing. So I don't know why we don't have more people learning quantum mechanics.
I'm trying right now. I'm learning more about it.
Nice. You need a lot of physics to back it up because it starts from classical physics, of course. But
sure.
It won't take you that long. I mean, I looked at the books at one point and said, "Holy shit! I don't think I can learn any of this."
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah, it took a year or two, and I took a course in university. It's not hard, and I just don't understand why people are doing it. But then it makes you wonder, or are people hiding the fact that they don't want to do it because it takes energy? That takes effort. And
I think it's a lot of people saving their thought gasoline, where they will take literally the most fuel efficient thought path possible. What? Over that mountain? No, that's a hill. That's gonna waste a lot of thought, I guess. I'm gonna go just coast down this slight gradient and just put it in neutral. Like, they refuse to think. Gas is expensive.
Actually, right here in my province, British Columbia, we have a little place called the University of British Columbia, where they have devised a new, it's not a vaccine, I think it's going to be pill form, that you take that neutralizes COVID. It actually stops its ability to attach itself to the other spikes. So, and they're working on that right now. And they've had a little bit of success with it, so stay tuned.
No, that's awesome. See, that's what I thought. Maybe where I should be putting my energy, right, is doing these kind of things. And that's a whole other discussion. But, I found that that's more fulfilling. I don't know how you can sit there and read an anachronistic book that tells you goat sacrifices so you can walk through a pillar or whatever the fuck. I don't understand why people need that. And I don't think that they understand either, because when I ask them, they talk circularly, right? This whole circular round and round and round. And it's like, okay, I'm not convinced you even think you need that. But, they get offended, and, we don't want to have a charade.
No. I mean,
so that's the problem.
So, a lot of people, well, for many people, it's tied, to them personally, right? Like they feel that all of these beliefs are part of who they are, but they're really not their core being. They're just an outer part of they brought it on, or it was put on them. Actually, usually, you're raised by people who tell you this stuff, and I've never looked at it as being lied to. Those folks believe it, so they're just telling you what they believe, and now you believe it. So it's like an indoctrination. But it really isn't at the core who they are. I mean, they're people, and this is just a belief that they have. But they think it is. They think it's, Jesus is in my heart. Well, you should probably see a doctor, because he shouldn't be there.
He's not gonna fit. He's not gonna fit.
Your heart, you don't have feelings in your heart, as some people might. Oh, well, how do I feel it right here? That's not where your heart is. Your heart is right here. B, it's not good if you have something in your heart that you're probably going to block the blood flow, because that's what the heart's for, is to pump blood through your body.
You should probably have blood in your heart.
I like that. Extra delight, but religion is a philosophy of death. Yeah, in one way, for sure. Like, what's going to happen after you die? Well, you got this nice, cloudy, heavenly, streets of gold fucking bullshit place that you're going to go to. Like, how does gold stay afloat? That's what I want to know. But anyway.
Very carefully.
There's a little tiny
this is the problem, right?
Hanging from the other clouds.
As soon as you start digging through it logically, it collapses. It's like a house of cards. You blow on it a bit, and it falls apart so quick. And no one looks at it that way, because I think it was BA that said it, when we were on. And he said it's tied to emotion, all tied and anchored within emotion. And I think he really nailed that well. And that's what all I've seen with it is just people get emotional, right? They think in exactly what you just said. It's a personal attack all of a sudden when you ask them, well, if Jesus isn't in your heart because that's bad and creates clots, where is he, right? Then it's soul or some shit. And it never ends. And I want to say to them, like, stop being dishonest with me and stop being dishonest with yourself. You're not being honest. You know what I mean? You don't know these things. Don't just say, I don't
pretend
know.
That you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Far more intellectually honest to say that too, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing. But out it comes every time. And
they are.
Happy birthday, buddy. Well, it was yesterday.
Oh, happy belated, dude. You old something.
Yeah, it's for some people it's hard to separate that, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They feel hurt when you say something like you attack their belief. They think you're personally attacking them. You're not really attacking their belief. You're just saying, listen, I don't believe this shit. Right. And I don't understand how you do. And they lose their shit. And
I think that's weird because I that's not even for like all religions. You know what I mean? Because like Buddhists don't get all bent out of shape when people are just like, oh yeah, well, Buddha's fake. They're like, cool, dude. Nope. Glad you said that. You feel better? Like, I don't care what you think about you know what I mean? But Christians, woo, buddy, don't you dare say nothing about Jesus. That's like talking about me and my baby. Like, they get so amped up so quick if you say anything bad. Like, if like people do like the fucking stripper Jesuses, like they like it's a cross, but he's doing stripper moves on the cross. God, they get so pissed about that. But it's like, what do you care if he's real in your heart, throwing clots like a son of a bitch? Then what do you care what someone does? Man, they take it so personal.
Jesus, John, you've probably got much better things to do with your time, really. Come on.
Oh, man. Well, the thing
I'll think about Neil, too. Jesus is babe. got them double caked clappers, you know.
The whole problem is that now I'm trying this podcast and it's not just, I don't want to just talk about that. I want to talk to people about critical thinking. And this seems to be an element that is completely missing in school until you go to university and pay for the course yourself. And it's not funded. And I had never seen it in high school or anything. There was no courses or anything like it. And I don't know, are people really going to learn anything from critical thinking?
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think everybody is, right? I don't think a lot of people want to hear it because then it'd be like me reading the fallacies for the first time, except not having an epiphany going, this is how everyone has been lying to me all this time. Talking shit to me, and you know what I mean? And it's like, guys, come on. But that's the thing. I don't know. What can you do? So all I can do is sort of do what you do, Neil. I mean, what you're doing I think is pretty much what you can do. All you can do is reach out and get people to listen and to hear what's being said. And that's about it. Because these are people that don't want to listen.
Yeah, well, some of them don't, for sure. I mean, I've made friends with a few Christians on Twitter. They're nice guys. They're nice folks, right?
Yeah.
So we have decent conversations. We don't really bring up religion in most of them. Did you ever see the Ramones live? Oh yeah, dude, I see them live, and stuff like that. Or like Craig Reed, I talk to him quite often. Or there's another fella, I can't remember his name, but we have just conversations, and once in a while you'll be like, well, you should really think about the Bible and stuff. And I said, yeah, you know what, I have, dude, and it ain't for me, like not a chance. So if it's what you're into, fine. You don't seem to push it on. You don't push it on me, so I'm assuming you don't push it on other people all that often. So just keep that up.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. And I mean, I know a lot of great people, who are full believers. They're good people.
Sure.
I have nothing against it. They don't bring it up with me. I don't bring it up with them. My big problem is that they're a little quiet for me sometimes because I don't know why they're not out, getting onto Joel Osteen's Twitter like I like to do and point out to Joel about all the ways he likes to get that ATM of his working for him in his mega church so that all these people give him their bank accounts.
Yeah.
I really wish
afford it either.
No, not at all. Of course not. These poor people are just, I don't know where they are at in their minds, but obviously it's probably not in the best places. And they literally think that Joel is going to give them some kind of magic by giving him their paycheck. And yeah, this is really bad.
Seek to heaven.
Well, this is the thing.
It's a golden ticket.
Yeah, right.
Gold
ticket to bankruptcy. That isn't happening.
At least Willy Wonka gave him some free candy while they were in there,
Right. You know what I mean? Everybody else delivers except guess who, right? I mean, it's never happening. Here we go.
Yeah, why can't God handle his money better? What does God need with money anyways? He can just speak things into existence.
Why are we paying for things?
I'm kind of hangry. Snickers, and it would appear, and he could eat a Snickers right then and there, right? Like he doesn't need money. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but he likes to help his friend Joel Osteen out, though. He likes to help Joel a lot. Yeah, because Joel needs help like that.
The fact that the church is in the old Houston Rockets basketball arena should let you know everything you need to know.
That's horrible.
It's a sports arena.
Yes.
For like
apparently
40,000 people.
Yeah, I don't
George,
know.
I gotta ask, it sounds to me like you lost your folks while you were quite young.
Not too young. I was about 27 when my mom died. My dad died 3 years later at 30. I'm 45 now, so it's been a while. Not terribly long, but yeah, they've been gone for a bit.
Well, I have 4 parents, honestly, but 2 biological, 2 adopted, right? And I've lost my biological mom in 2013. She passed, and then my adopted dad passed in 2011, I want to say 2010, somewhere around there. He was cancer, and she just was doing a crossword on the computer, and then that was it. So some sort of a embolism or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I do have my biological father and my adopted mom still with us. So sort of still covered, I guess you might say. But but did they know that you weren't much of a believer before they passed, or did you just not tell them, or like how did that sort of work out? And like, what was the relationship like?
So yeah, one day I had told my dad, I said, "Listen, there's no God." That went over pretty. Like a
lead balloon.
Exactly. He was not happy at all, right? He what do you mean? How do you know that? He got rough. I didn't think he would. He was kind of a guy that likes to think about things. He likes to think about everything. But when it came to that, he was actually a little rough. And then my mom surprised me a bit by not really taking my side on it. And that was a die, because I mean, she didn't. She was a Native woman who grew up in Canada way back in the times, I guess, where the residential schools were still going on and all this stuff. And, she had told me all her stories of being young, growing up without a mom on the reserve, just her and her dad, and his family is just poverty, eating flowers after going to school, coming home from school. She had all these, miserable stories to tell me. And I thought, what a shit life, that you've been left to. And because our family did not disenfranchise, we were not sent to my grandfather and his parents. They didn't have to do, as far as I know, the residential school thing. They stayed to their own, but they endured poverty because of it, right? You couldn't get a job, so they were literally left out, and my mom was part of that. And so she grew up like that. And I thought, when I told her there is no God, I thought, she should obviously agree, because I mean, how else do you explain all this crap, And she wasn't bad about it, but she kind of, didn't really listen. And I left it at that. Because, one of them was completely hostile with me. One of them just didn't really want to talk about it. So I thought, all right, fair enough.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. In Canada, we didn't really handle that shit very well, did we, with the whole residential schools and shit like that?
No, it was... Yeah, I mean, I've been living here in the U.S. and when they found the Saskatchewan part there, and that really blew my mind. I thought, wow, I didn't think to that extent that this was happening to that extent.
Oh, yeah.
But
even here in BC, they found hundreds of bodies too.
Right, I had heard about that one, and
Kamloops.
Yeah,
they'll find more as time goes on.
Yeah. And that's really, really bad. But I remember I kept going on Twitter and I kept saying, so where's the Pope, everyone? And I would post the links to this, right? Get like one like, no one's looking at it. And I'm thinking, man, stop this dishonesty. People, come on. If this was you, you'd be pissed too. Stop it.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
And that's the times we live in, right? There's just so much denial about the really nasty shit humans have done, And, and I hate to bring it back, but what is behind it? It is, dun, 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 once again. And I was, it was all right to see the Pope apologize. I was glad that he did it, at least, I was wondering what took him so long, but he did, fair enough. But
he eventually made it here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, that's just him. What are other people saying? I mean, I don't want to get into it.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
Where was the time speaking up about this shit? What's going on in these schools? But they didn't give a fuck. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It was all about colonialism, right? Let's fucking switch everyone to what we believe. Fuck off.
No, it definitely is that. So I don't know. That was this thing about it, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would I do? And I'm always sitting up at night with this, and it hits me this thought once in a while, and I'm always wondering, like, what is all that shit, really? I know it's colonialism. I know it's all that, but what in a human makes us have that potential to be so shitty?
Yeah.
Agreed, Air.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they've been shredded or lost or something.
Mm-hmm. So. They have been unfound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that was about it for all the things I remember about my parents in that sort of scenario. I think at that point, though, we drifted apart a lot more because I was getting older at that point. I was in my teens. I think I was 15 when I said that bit.
Goddamn rebellious teenagers.
Yeah. They're thinking, we didn't raise this fucking kid. What a pain in my ass, But they sent me to the fucking school, so it's on them. I wanted to go to the other schools with all my friends from the neighborhood, and they said, no, you're going to go to this nice school that everyone's telling us about. And I'm thinking, that's how they catch you.
My folks wanted me to go to a Catholic private school as well, and I was just like,
yeah.
And I'm Jewish. I was raised Jewish. I still consider myself culturally Jewish, but I'm still an atheist. Yeah. But whatever. And so I put on my best asshole behavior. So they wouldn't accept me there.
Nice play.
I guess I'm not good. Well, saving you some money, Mom.
Yeah.
These schools ain't fucking cheap because apparently God is broke. So.
Oh, of course. Always needs money.
He can't use his little heaven replicator to make some cash.
No.
Pulls out his little divine wallet and goes, "Oh, I got nothing."
A couple of doves fly out.
Yeah. With the money.
Yeah. We're going to get some dove chow.
Yeah.
But yeah, any strained relationships with friends or anything like that, or mostly friends secular anyways?
Oh, yeah, I have had a lot of people who they weren't very religious when they were teenagers, chasing around, women and drinking and
yeah.
all these other things.
As we did back then, right?
Yeah, but as I got older, I started noticing on Facebook a lot more posts about the Almighty and the Lord. And I put up a post. Yeah, I put up a post one time. I think I said, this is all fucking bullshit or something really bad like that. And I noticed I got blocked and, unfriended. And I thought, wow, I didn't see it coming from you guys. You guys were a bunch of asshole shitheads who I loved when we were growing up. And now, so I literally think I only have maybe, a handful of friends that will actually talk to me. The rest of them are one of them's a priest, one of the kids I grew up with.
Wow.
And he thinks I'm a total fucking asshole. He absolutely hates me. He told me, how dare you say that? I said something about these people not taking their kids to the doctor or something.
God can't make money because he's on the same level as money. They're both created by man. Yes.
Who would have known?
And break the fourth wall.
That's the state of affairs, though. So yeah, a lot of people don't. And I can't sit here and tell people, well, I might believe one day. I'm fucking not going to.
No.
They need to look at life. They need to. And then I find that they don't explain anything about their lives. It's like, how do you live like that? Like Socrates would be so upset, the life, not, unexamined life isn't worth living. No shit. How can you live a life where you don't really get into it, and really think about what it is and get to know yourself along the way? I don't know. This is a bizarre.
Get to know yourself. Will we ever figure out what life really is and all that? Who knows? It's going to take a lot of time because we don't have a handle on that shit.
I don't know. The best thing. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, but we are here, and it's the odds of that happening are pretty fucking infinitesimal. So be glad that you're here, and then do something. Do something that you'll be proud of, and that that cares what everyone else thinks. Just do something you'll be proud of, just as long as you're not hurting people, okay? Or at least trying not to hurt people, and do something that will leave a legacy somehow behind, so that your name will be uttered for centuries to come, and that's how you live on.
I think I'll probably earn a suffix to my name, George, that fucking asshole. That'll be my epitaph, I guess. But I mean, I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to get people to understand. It's like, try to see that it doesn't work. Just look at it logically, And if that's the case, then what it looks like we have is each other. We need to be nicer to other people, even if it's hard to be. We need to work together. We need, unity, even if we don't want to get along. We do good things when we work together. When people, when I see science is something where everyone works together, and it's great. Even if, the study is not that good, someone else will find the mistake, and it builds itself. It comes out and it builds and it builds. This is what I really like about people, and the life would suck without people. It really would.
Yeah.
Because I think that's we're can't live with them, can't live without them, people, right? But we're also great. I enjoy the company of great people and stuff, and I think everyone has it in them to be that way. They just need to open up and stop always having to have someone co-sign to your expectations, I guess you could say.
Some people are a little less people.
Yeah.
They tend to stick to the people they know well, and keep a small group, and don't really go out and do that. But I've always been a social fucking butterfly.
Nice.
I get out there, and even crowds that I don't know a single goddamn person in that crowd, I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? They're like, who the fuck is this guy? Looks like he's gonna kick my ass. He's got bike.
No, that's good. That's good. That's what we need to do. You need to say hello to people you don't know. Like, why can't I? Why can't I? If I'm bothering them, okay, just say, go away right now. It's fine, But
my roommate's fucking stymied because I know everyone in the building. She goes, hey, what do you talk to everyone? I go, yeah.
Yes.
Why not? Why not? And when you get to know other people, it's so much better. Life is so much better. But this whole need for these tribes, it's fine if people want to live like that. I get some people aren't, talkative.
Tribalism Tribalism's ingrained in us anyways, dude. So it's going to be around for as long as there's people.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean I can't say hello to everyone or ask them a question or whatever it is.
Only if you make me do it.
I would rather just look at everybody's works and never have to interact with anybody face to face ever again. I didn't used to be this way. Maybe it's COVID. People freak me out now.
Yeah, well, COVID really did that.
It has done that to a few people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust y'all no more.
What? I've been to your house, man.
Yeah, you've been vetted.
Fair enough.
Like a Canadian, got some health care, probably not coming here with no cooties.
Well, Stephanie was out on the boat. She's freezing now. How's it going, Steph? Wait, hang on. Here it is. I'm freezing. You? Anyway. Well, George, it seems like you pretty much covered everything you wanted to cover. So what do you say we can wrap this up a little bit early and just take a bit of a break and get into an after party?
So everybody can come say hello.
I told you we do after parties. Now, you don't have to stick around for a long time. You can stick around for 15, 20 minutes if you want, just to meet a couple other folks and say hi. Who knows? Maybe you could find some people that might want to come on and share some stuff on your show, my friend.
Hey, I'm all for it, Neil. I'm right here.
He's not running.
No.
He's not afraid of you, Neil.
That's okay. I'm not afraid of me either.
Mirrors would just be a hellscape, like stop copying me.
That's right. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. We'll get into an after party.
Nice.
I feel I don't even need to ask this question. A lot of times I ask people, well, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you say? But you were like young already when you're like, this is fucking nonsense. So you're already on your way out. So I think you probably go back in time and tell yourself, keep it up, George. That's about it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is it didn't do me any good. It was a waste of my time. It didn't do anything. I haven't yet to see it do something for anyone else, and that's basically it.
Something you could actually, see and put your bits into.
Yeah.
Yeah, believing doesn't really do shit for you. Except it might make you feel a little better in a bad situation, but there are other ways to have that. So.
Yes. Totally agree.
Well, dude, it's fucking great having you on. I was looking forward to this
because so much.
You were brave enough to have me on your show. So
no, it was great. I had so much fun because it was like three heavy hitters. Yeah, with three heavy hitters, man. It was so much fun, and you got Dale and BA and you, and it was great. And it's a topic that I consider you. Literally, I think you are the professor. I'm going to say you are. I know you're going to deny it. You are the professor.
That's what you go. Well, I've heard a few stories. So, I've got an ammo bag full of stories that people have shared with me. I guess I'm a little bit of a learned person on this subject for sure. I don't know if I call myself a professor because Then I got to do things like hang on here. I don't know what the hell I did with them now. No, I don't know. Looking for my glasses. Then I got to put on the old professor glasses and all studious or something.
Get your sweater vest with the leather elbow patches.
How does a vest have elbow patches?
The sweater vest with the elbow patches on the sweater. The professor look.
Yeah, but that's not a sweater vest. A vest has no sleeves.
Sweater vest and you know what I'm saying.
You're talking about the Argyle or not Argyle? Is it Argyle? With the patches on the
Google professor images, and I bet it will be there. There it is. This is
all right.
Oh, there must have been a show called that. This is just a show.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, yeah, guys, if you want to be involved in the after party, as I see Sabrina asking, you got to send this fella right here, Mikey, a message, because he usually takes care of all that now on Twitter.
Just send a DM. You have to send a DM. I'm not gonna go through everybody. Send a DM and I'll whoever notifies me.
At Mikey Famine. You find him there on Twitter and send him a DM and say, "Put me on the show. Put me in, coach."
And I'll do it.
And he'll do it. And we'll do that. We'll get into the after party. And there's a link to it below if you just want to watch it. You can do that as well, which I actually literally had to fix up just before we went live because I forgot to do some shit. Oh, well. But yeah, thanks everyone out there in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. If you did, smash that like button.
Do it.
And sub to the channel if you haven't already. And also, thanks to my amazing patrons. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you for all you do. And of course, like I always say at the end of the interviews, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Oh, here we go. And I am just so... we'll see you guys in the after party. Cheers.
What's untangled?